This podcast is part of the Listen Frederick Podcast Network. To learn more, visit listenfrederick.com.
What's up, everyone? It's episode 105 of Beers in the Lot. In this one, the guys and I talked about World Junior Championships and how we're not really paying attention. Then we talked about a question that we got in Discord about advice for players who are new to the game. And that led to a discussion about the relationships that you form through hockey, how you should maintain them, and how they benefit you. So here we go. Let's crack those beers. Riggs with the pour as usual. What you got there, Riggs?
So, courtesy of Eugene Gooner on his recent trip up to New York and New Jersey, I have from Peconic County Brewing, Cooper's Summer Ale. It has a quote on here. It says, "Simply beautiful beer."
That's nice. That's almost like a little poem.
Yes.
Very alliterative.
Simply beautiful beer.
That's nice.
That is nice. What about you, Danny? What do you have?
So, also courtesy of my boy Gooner from Blue Point Brewing Company, a Imperial Sunshine. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Appreciate it, Gooner. What do you got tonight there, Aaron?
Yeah, we do appreciate it, Gooner, because also courtesy of Gooner, I've got from Montauk Brewing Company up in New York, Montauk Summer Ale. It's good. It's beer. It's not got anything, no alliterative poem-like statements on it. Just beer. It's just, it's just a beer. And it's good. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, this Cooper's is pretty clean. It's good. I like it.
I almost grabbed that one of the Cooper's ones that I've got.
Yeah.
That Gunnar gave me. I might save that one for next week.
Yeah, man. You'll like it. It's good. It's
nice.
Yeah, I got the one that you have, Aaron. I got that one on deck.
Mm.
So that'll be my next beer tonight.
Next week.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've cracked our beers.
No Johnny.
No Johnny tonight. Yeah. Well, no Johnny tonight. And it is August. So, hockey,
what should we get into?
Is there's some hockey going on? I know World Juniors is going on. I have not watched any of it. I haven't gotten a chance to actually pay attention to it at all. Is either of you guys paying attention to it?
Seen some highlights.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple of highlights.
Yeah.
One or two. Yeah.
It's been a few Michigan attempts.
Yeah. Yeah, Logan Cooley almost pulled off one the other night.
And there was one successful one, right?
I didn't see
Canada.
That one. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I have watched 0 minutes of all of the games.
It's so hard right now.
Well,
it's like not hockey time.
It's not even that. It's like, they started World Juniors at its normal time, after Christmas, starts on Boxing Day if you're in Canada or whatever. And then they had to stop because of COVID. Right.
Right.
And then they rescheduled to now, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like if it's in between Christmas and New Year's, I usually take most of that week off so I can watch all the games and not worry about work and other responsibilities. And it's more, I don't know, it's more entertaining or more, I don't know, I have more motivation to watch it, but right now I just can't be bothered.
Yeah. I guess around that time of year, you're kind of like, all right, well, I've had my NHL. I've been waiting for NHL and it's back, and it's it's early season hockey, so it's kind of like you're in the doldrums at that point too. And it's like, all right, let's take a break and watch some fast pace kids just beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And then that's where World Juniors comes in, and it fills a need right in the middle of the NHL season. So,
and it's part of the hockey calendar year, right? Like, you know that, okay, about halfway through, we're going to have this really good tournament, best on best international tournament at the under 20 level. You're going to see kids that are already tearing it up in college hockey and major juniors and, you know, some of the minor pro and pro leagues over in Europe. And it's going to be a great, you know, week and a half, 2 weeks. Happens to fall right at the holidays again, which is perfect. But I can't get into it right now. I have no idea who's on what teams. Like I like last year, because it was all of the high value draft picks were on all the, you know, Canadian and US teams.
Right.
It was very easy to get into, and I just don't, aside from, like, you know, Connor Bedard, right?
Of course.
And, you know, Logan Cooley, Brock Faber for the Americans. Like, I don't know anybody else. I have no idea who's playing for what team.
Right. But go USA.
Yeah,
we know that. We know that.
I saw a thing, they won all the round robins, so they get to play Czech or Czechia or whatever they call themselves now. In the I guess the crossover or the first elimination round or whatever they call that now.
So you have been paying a little bit of attention.
I just see the stuff, like, you know, USA Hockey will post something on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, we won all our games. Okay, cool. All right.
Neat.
So did Canada.
That's neat. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You know.
I kind of was like, after our tournament, you know, our season shut down, and I was kind of like, I'm going to take a nice little break. And Ross was like, man, you got to come to pickup. Come on, man, come to pickup. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll go to pickup. And actually, I had a good time though. I mean, it was a good skate, and
Yeah, that was a good skate.
now I'm
last night,
debating. I'm like, well, do I want to go back next weekend?
Mhm.
I kind of just wanted to chill until the fall season, but I don't know. I might be back. I don't know if I can make it.
You'll be back.
Yeah. We'll see you Sunday.
I always come
See you
back.
Sunday.
See you Sunday.
That was a good little skate last night.
Yeah.
Didn't get some of the big, high skill guys that just sort of take over the puck on pickup that come out sometimes too, which is kind of nice. I mean, you get more touches of the puck that way, I think, which was good.
Yeah.
It still had a fast pace to it, though. I mean, it was a good pace.
I think that was just the time off from the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
We had like a 2-week break there, and
Yeah.
like I could definitely feel it.
Yeah. But we did have the right number of guys, though. We had 4 on our bench,
Yeah.
and then one actually he was too tired. He left halfway through, so we only had 3 guys on the bench for a good chunk of it. So lots of ice time. That was good.
Yeah.
And they let us have the ice like half an hour early. I was out there easily a half an hour before it was supposed to start.
He's just running through drills. He's getting ready.
Yeah. You know me. Doing
Aw.
drills.
You had to have a good showing after, getting the tournament clutching goal there.
I guess so. One of the guys at the skate, he said, after I had, messed around and I actually possessed the puck and moved it around a little bit, he was like, look at Aaron, just oozing confidence after that game-winning goal a couple weeks ago. I was laughing my ass off.
That's great.
That's funny.
I love it.
So actually, here's something in Discord over this last week. One of our Patreons, Jessica, actually, she asked a question. I guess she's starting to spearhead some sort of project or new group, I guess, with her hockey community, I guess, that she's trying to get some new folks into the game and trying to get like brand new people into the game. And she asked us on Discord, like, what's your advice for somebody who's just starting out playing hockey? And kind of just opened it up for all of us to ask or to answer. And there's some good answers there. John's not here, but he had a good one too. So I'll do his in a minute. But do you guys want to recap what you guys said to her in Discord? Like maybe even expand a little bit on what you said.
So I responded with just start playing. Don't be intimidated by going out there and just trying. For the most part, the people that you play with, they're there. They're gonna help you. If they see that you're new, a lot of times they're gonna try to give you that extra pass or try to set you up. Maybe even give you some tips. A lot of time on the bench in between shifts, and that's I actually learned a lot just listening to other players who've played longer than me on the bench in between plays.
Yeah, I love that advice. Actually, that's really, really good, because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, dude, that was me. I was kind of like, man, it's hockey. Like, all these guys are all tough. They're gonna kick my ass, and nobody wants me out here. Like, like that was definitely a feeling that I had when I was first starting to lace up the first times. And yeah, that's great advice. But because the reality is that this sport is kind of unlike others in that you don't really have people who are going to do that sort of thing to you when you're out there. Like, everybody sees you when you're there, like for your first time, and they're like, we need to help this person out so they'll come back. Because we want them to keep coming back.
Yes. Because
it's hard to get into this sport. So yeah, everybody recognizes, yeah, let's help anybody that we can who's trying. Let's help them so that they want to come back and keep playing. So that's fantastic advice. I love that. What was yours, Riggs?
I look at it from a couple different angles, player, parent, coach, especially coach these days, right? Because we're so busy with it. The first thing though is I think it's great that someone in a youth hockey organization and a club is taking that initiative to kind of educate players and their families and people around them on the positive aspects and trying to accentuate that, because I think that's, and I said it in one of my responses on the Discord, that I think it's something that all clubs should do everywhere. Like, I wish that, especially as a coach, we spent more face time in front of the parents, kind of coaching them as well on what we're trying to do and what our focuses are at different age levels and skill levels, and what's important and where we should be focusing our energies and our resources and our just simple conversations to help the kids. So it was very refreshing to see that question pop up. It was kind of out of the blue, and it was really cool to see. And so with that in mind, I kind of looked at it as, hey, this would be a great opportunity to get in front of the families and say, you all, players, parents, siblings, extended family, you all have to realize that this is only going to work if your relationships are solid in the hockey community. So, make sure that you're not just going to be the parent that sits over in the corner with their arms crossed by themselves, watching their kid and their kid only play. Like, be part of the community, be part of the team, introduce yourself to everyone. If you're a player, the first thing you should do, even if you know that coach from years past, the first thing you should do when you show up first day of practices or even tryouts, whatever it is, walk up to every coach and introduce yourself and shake hands and get that FaceTime and start those conversations. If you're a parent, you better be doing the same thing. In fact, it's more vital that you do it, I think. Introduce yourself, if you're a player, to all your teammates and all that kind of stuff, right? And then as we move on, let's make sure that we're recognizing the efforts of other folks in our hockey journey. So the rink staff that opens the rink and prepares the ice for you, right? You can't play if they're not there. So you better respect what they're doing. Any on or off ice officials, a lot of times the off ice officials are parent volunteers. So make sure you know who all of your teammates' moms and dads are. And, you know, you have a good relationship with them. The on ice officials, you know, we need to respect them. There's a huge problem right now with a shortage of on ice officials because there is a massive lack of respect for what they do. If they don't show up, we don't play games, guys. So we need to recognize and then opposing clubs and teams, we need to understand that we can't play games if they don't show up either. And they might stop showing up to play us if we're not treating them with the respect that they deserve. And actually, even going further than that, recognizing their strengths over our weaknesses. You know, it's okay to say, hey, you know what? That goalie made a good play against us or whatever, like whatever it is. You know, this isn't a cutthroat thing like pro leagues or whatever you want to try and compare yourself to. So, you know, I think if we can, as you know, as coaches and then by extension as leaders in the hockey community, if we can get in front of families and kind of get these messages out, that's a huge deal. And then, you know, yeah, I echo the sentiments about the hockey community is very accepting. So if you're just starting out like as an adult player or even as an older teenage player, you know, you're 13, 14 years old and you're just now starting out, just show up and skate. People will help you. That's not even a question. It's not like a lot of these other sports where, you know, not to pick on baseball, but I have some personal anecdotes of friends that tried to start out in baseball later on in life, and they were quite pointedly told, you can't start this late. Like, don't even sign up. I think in hockey, it's much different. I think you're going to be encouraged to sign up. You're going to be encouraged to show up every week, and you should definitely just go do it. The game for me is all about relationships, and the community aspect of that is what drives that.
Absolutely. And going back to one of the points you were making about like respecting the other teams, you don't know what team you're going to be on later. If you're in the lower eight, like the age, the U10, whatever. If you're possibly going to be bouncing around to another team, moving to a different organization or whatever, you could be playing with guys that you're playing against.
Absolutely.
So if they remember that you didn't respect them and their team or whatever, then that's going to carry over and that's going to lead to some weird situations. Far better to be respectful to everybody and be known as the guy who was cool to the other team, even though you were getting beat or whatever. Like if you were beating the pants off of somebody and you're still being respectful of them. Like it's far better being known as that person.
You never know who you're gonna be playing with or against next, so you just need to keep that in mind. Like play hard, play tough, you know, all that good stuff, but always keep in mind that next year you could be sitting next to that person, or that coach on that other team may be evaluating you next year, and you know there may be a spot on the line and they may remember, you know, what you did or didn't do. So,
or maybe somebody in the crowd is watching and noticing that, and they might be somebody who's important in an organization you want to be a part of.
Absolutely.
You have no idea. So they see you being a piece of crap on the ice, they're going to remember that.
Absolutely.
And they might remember the opposite too if they see you being the good sportsman.
and all those little things, right, that build up to that. Like, hey, when you're at another rink or something and you run into somebody, just introduce yourself and start talking to them, even if they're on a different team or the team you're about to play or you just played, because you never know. The other thing there is, especially as a younger player, you're going to build the skills that are going to serve you later on in life. So when you decide maybe you're done with hockey and you need to go out and get a job, you're going to need some of those skills of being able to walk up to somebody and converse with them, and all of that good stuff. So, those little things are going to go a long, long way in and outside of hockey.
Absolutely. Like, think of all the NHL players that, you hear all the stories about, oh, you could just go talk to them and they'll hold a conversation. Every single one of them are like that. There's very few stories of, oh, that guy won't talk to anybody. Like, that's just, that's the way that the game works. That's the way the community works.
The cool thing about hockey is I had a college coach always tell us, like, we're in a very, like, small group of people. There's not a lot of people that play. There really aren't. There really aren't a lot of people that even skate, let alone play. Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you already have something in common. So just start talking about hockey and then see where it goes. I mean, this is basically what we do, right? And on a weekly basis, right? So, but if you just go up and just be social inside of your hockey community, regardless of who it is, and you will find yourself in a good place at the end.
And then my advice was not really, I don't know, in hindsight, my advice was kind of small picture, but compared to these guys. But
it was good.
My advice was to skate as much as you can, because that's the most important aspect of the game initially. Like, the hardest thing to do when you're first starting out is think about how to play the game and think about how to skate at the same time. So if you can eliminate either of those things as something that you don't really have to think about and it just happens naturally, then the other is going to come a lot easier. So for me, it was skating. I just skated all the time, and it made it a lot easier to learn the game. But anyway, that's my advice. Get your rollerblades on.
You did a lot of roller derby,
get on the ice. I was on rollerblades
Big
all the
roller
time.
Derby guy.
Yeah, roller derby.
And that kind of falls in line with like a development path, right? So you have to get on the ice, you have to get on rollerblades or whatever it is.
Yep.
If you want to work on hands, you need a stick and some object that you can stick handle with. It really doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't.
Correct.
It can be a golf ball, it can be a tennis ball, it can be a base. It doesn't matter. Just something that you can handle with the stick. And so along with that is something else that I mentioned, which is you have to have a healthy perspective on where you are in that path. So if you're the parent of a mite, an 8U kid or a 10U kid or even a Pee-wee 12U kid, okay? You're playing at a A level, or they have high A now, or they have double, whatever it is. Guess what? The practice time that those kids are putting in is invaluable. The games don't mean shit. Okay? All right. They seem like, to the kids and even to the parents and some of the family involved, they seem like the most important games and events to that point in that young hockey player's life. They don't mean anything, okay? They're fun, and that's where it should stay. That, have fun in the winning, have fun in the losing, meet the challenges, all that stuff. But don't let the results of those games consume your mental and emotional energy. It's not worth it. You should really be focused on practice time, at the rink and away from the rink. So when we're at the rink, we're showing up focused and ready to work. because as a coach, that's my time. That's not players' time. Practice is my time. Players' time is in games. And when they're at home, encouraging them to be generally active. And if they want to work on hockey stuff, get your stick, get a ball, and go mess around. This kind of stuff. Keep a healthy perspective on where you're at. If you're older and just starting out, yeah, you're going to struggle, but don't get down on yourself. Keep showing up.
Mhm.
Keep showing up to the rink. If you're playing whatever level it is, D League, C League, B, whatever it is, who cares? Just keep showing up.
So that's big, just showing up, because I know when I started at the rink,
It ties
when I
right
started
into
working
your
there.
advice. Just
yeah,
show
when I
up.
started working at the rink, I only played roller, and I was okay. I could skate. I did skateboarding and all that other stuff like beforehand, so I had balance, right? But I started working at the rink, and oh look, I'm gonna come in like an hour early and skate. And Aaron and I just skated all the time, and the more and more I skated, the better I got. So just
Of course.
showing up, getting on the ice as much as I could,
Yeah.
I got better. And playing pickup, I think we played pickup like 2-on-2, 1v1, like
Yep.
all the time, and that helped me tremendously. Just being on the ice.
Absolutely. And like Eric is saying, the games, I don't know a single stat about any NHL players, anything before like juniors or something. Like anything before like serious hockey.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
well,
It
and-
really doesn't matter.
Serious hockey. Okay. My personal definition, serious hockey is when you are no longer paying to play.
Yes. Yeah.
If you are,
when it looks like you're about to have a career doing
if
this.
you are paying now college doesn't count because they got to pay for school for most of those kids. Even NCAA Div 1, they got to pay for school, but they're not paying to play hockey. All
Right.
that is taken care of. They're not paying for ice time and uniforms and all this kind of stuff. If you are paying to play, you're not really playing serious hockey yet.
Right.
You are developing. You should be showing up and working hard and trying to get better every day, listening to what the adults are trying to teach you. Working through that in some cases where maybe you don't necessarily agree or the styles don't fit, whatever that is. But those are all lessons that you got to work through.
Right.
And until someone comes and says, we want you to be on this team and you are not paying for anything. In fact, we're going to help you out a little bit in different aspects. You're not playing serious hockey yet.
Yep. In fact, I would even say that there are
Damn.
Damn. There are 3 stages of a hockey player's career. Sometimes these stages happen instantaneously. Sometimes they take years, each of the stages, And those stages are young, developing, potentially, having a career hockey player. Then the next stage is you are making a career out of your playing hockey. And then your third stage is beer league.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
It all comes back to beer league.
Yes. If you are a 36-year-old man or whatever, woman, whatever, and you are lacing up skates for the first time, you went through those first 2 stages instantaneously and you are
That's
already
right.
in the third
Yes.
stage.
Yeah. There's only
And welcome. I'll see you Sunday night.
Welcome. We'll see you Sunday.
there's only one stage that is mandatory.
Yes, only one stage is the one that everybody ends up in. So first now, and you obviously you treat your hockey the way that you're playing a little differently in each of these stages,
Yes.
of course. So
Yes.
if you are a young developing player, then your focus is I want to get as good as I possibly can. I want to reach my potential. I want to get to my potential as quickly as I can.
Wait,
And then
so they're not slamming beers before games?
I don't think so.
I skipped those stages.
Yeah, we skipped those stages, didn't we? Now, Daniel and I, we didn't ever play any coached hockey. We
No.
jumped straight into beer league. We went straight through those first two stages instantaneously.
Yeah.
But
You just had to get out there and play.
yeah, it's just showing up. And yeah, for the folks that are, getting started a little bit later with hockey, you're going straight to stage 3. Show up. Everybody
Just show
sucks.
up. Yes.
Everybody sucks. You don't suck as much as everybody else,
Yes.
though. Everybody sucks. Get out there and
Yes.
have fun. That's all that's important.
Yes.
And bring some beer.
And bring some beer.
I guarantee you go to a pickup, you drop a 24 pack in the middle, you instantly have 10 new friends.
Yep. And they're definitely going to say, "See you next Sunday."
Absolutely.
After the skate.
Absolutely.
Oh, and John's advice.
Did you want to read John's? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let me read it.
Yeah.
It
It was some bullshit. See you next week.
John's advice
That was good.
kind of summarized up a little bit of what Eric and
Yeah.
Daniel said actually here. He was saying basically make sure you maintain your start and then maintain your relationships, I think.
Yeah.
That was the gist of what he said. So,
Yeah, I mean, like, so part of the problem is I'm focused on this right now because I have my son and I'm coaching at a 14U level, right? So these are kids that are, going into high school now as second year 14U players. They need to start learning how to approach people like adults, right? Like,
Mhm.
like if as a coach, right, when we have teams come play us or we go play someone else, we always meet up with the coaches before the game, shake hands, introduce ourselves to each other, have a little conversation, partly because we want to find out, what's going on with them, like how are things
Sure.
going and everything, and they want to find out the same thing, but also just because we want to be good members of the hockey community. We want to, we're not these like bitter rivals. This isn't like, Toronto.
it's not like in Mighty Ducks when
This,
the coach is like a
Right.
jerk and
Right.
No, it's not like that.
No, we're all trying to do the same things. We just, work at different rinks and work out of different geographic areas, right? Like,
Yeah.
but we're all doing the same thing. We're all,
Right.
we're all trying to teach the game and help kids out and all that good stuff. So, it does us no good, and it does the kids no good to not do that kind of stuff. And then, at the same time, as coaches and as teachers, we need to be encouraging the kids too, to like, hey, if you run into one of the other team's coaches or parents or one of their players, like, extend your hand, shake hands, look them in the eye. Let's introduce ourselves and have a conversation. How's the season going?
Let's go shake their hands.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gunnar Stahl. Exactly. But that's what it's all about.
Well, there you go. Episode 105. This kicks off year number 3 for us. For those of you that have been with us for the past 2 years, thank you so much for your support. Your listens and ratings and reviews and subscriptions have been the reason that our podcast has been so successful. For those of you just joining us, have a look at our back catalog. We got some good episodes with some timeless material in there, except episode 1. Don't listen to that. But do jump into our Discord server at beersinthelaw.com/Discord, and maybe your question could be the feature of our episode next week. Who knows? At the very least, you'll find some memes and plenty of talk about hockey. But that's all from me. We'll catch you next week with episode 106. See ya.